Welcome back to our channel. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, your time. Thank you for your continued support. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Turn on the bell so you do not miss a new upload. To our old ones, God bless you. To the new ones, welcome. As you're supporting me in this channel, may the Lord support you in everything you lay your hands. Amen. The news in details is no longer news that the president left the country for medical checkup, emergency medical checkup. That is what they call it. But they said it is nothing to be worried about. Who told us that? Now, where I want to say this, and please guys, you know that there's a lot of conflicts in the country. Let's talk about the one that is happening in Kwara, the Ijab, between the Christians and the Muslims. That is still left unresolved. We're not talking about the cattle rearers that have taken over the country with their cows everywhere. That is still left unresolved. Are we talking about the incessant kidnapping? That is still left unresolved and banditry. Why the president of Nigeria is flying in and out for medical checkup. Do you know that the doctors in Nigeria just went on strike? Now the question is, even the wife, Aisha Buhari, flies to Dubai for her medical checkup also. So what happens to the poor masses? This is where I am coming to. What happens to the poor masses? Nobody attends to them. Even a lot of them die in the hospital because they cannot afford the medical bill. Why? The president flies in and out. Who is fooling who? It is high time Nigerians should rise up and take this country by force. Honestly, a lot is happening. And here you have Garba Shehu in some few minutes defending him shamelessly. Of course, that is what they have always do. If he's sick, he would also fly out. After all, the hospital in Nigeria is not good enough. These are my thoughts. Please let me know yours in the comment section below. Watch, and I'll see us on my next video. Please watch.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. President Buhari is in London, hopefully, well, the last time we checked, he was on his way to London. Well, Mr. Garba Shehu is the president's spokesperson, and we've been talking to him about some of the details that we need to know as regarding that trip and the state of the polity. Thank you, Mr. Shehu, for your time tonight. It's also critical to know, because when you say that this government is going to ensure that there will be a reputable medical facility that can take care of the kind of situation that the president has gone to take care of in London. The question will be, you've not been able to do that in 5 years. What is the assurance that you can make that happen in 8 years?
Well, we have, don't forget that this thing just can't drop from the sky. Some of these projects are driven in part by money from private sector, and even technology and the specialists that you will need. You obviously have to reach agreements with the suppliers from abroad and all of these things. So yes, it will take time, but the important thing is that we are making progress. We are getting somewhere. In addition to that, I don't have a litany. I hope the Minister of Health will give you on another day. But I know that a number of hospitals, including the Saudi German hospital, the reputation in the Middle East and all of that, they also have a request, and I think that request has been okayed by the FCT, that they set up a facility in Abuja here.
Mr. Shehu, how do you explain also, because some of the figures that will, to fix a medical facility or a top-notch hospital, we require money, but money doesn't seem to be the problem, considering the fact that about over 13 billion was said to have been spent on the State House Clinic in 5 years. And there is also a budgetary provision of over 1 billion naira for the State House Clinic upgrade. And the Senate committee chair at the time had said that that will end any kind of foreign medical trip, especially for those at the State House or a president, for example. Where does that leave us? How do we account for those kind of monies that have been spent, and now we still have the president to travel?
Now, I think that unfortunately there is the misperception of the president's trip, seen in the context of medical tourism. President Buhari is not a medical tourist. If somebody has kept a retainership with medical experts, You are talking about maybe 30 years and plus. Each year, they review you and they examine you and they give you a pass or an advisory on what to do. Would you, given this position, would you yourself be changing your doctors every other year because there's a chance that the distance would be shortened? No, I think that that the president is wise and quite correct in his decision that he retains consistently a set of doctors who have ensured good health for himself.
Let's move on. Let's move away from the president's medical attention to some of the issues relating to the activity of the president before he traveled and the order he gave to the service chief. The president gave an order that the leaders of the bandits and kidnappers should be identified by the service chief. Is there any clear-cut intelligence that we need to know right now of some kind of unified leadership of these criminals?
Well, you know, first of all, it is important that your viewers also understand that the president didn't spank their heads. Rather, he really was appreciative of the positive and the pragmatic approach they have brought since their assumption of office. He has commended their decisiveness in dealing with the security challenges of the country, and he has asked them to sustain the momentum. Clear indication is that all the problems have been solved, but we are getting somewhere. Look at the major breakthrough that the police achieved in the southeast. It's shocking to many Nigerians that places of worship and the farmland, farms are being places, I use as places where killers of policemen and naval officers and military are being harbored. This discovery is shocking, but this is going on all over the country as we speak to you now. The new service chiefs are working with the Inspector General of Police and the heads of the intelligence agencies, and there is a clear lead. As Governor Fiŕe, who is the chairman of the Nigerian governors, said 2 or 3 days ago, there is a clear lead, connection now established between kidnapping, banditry, and the terrorism in the country, especially in terms of financing. I'm not going to give you the numbers, but there are a number of people who are currently under arrest, who are handling money, bureaus de change that are facilitating money to terrorists. We have already worked with the United Arab Emirates. Convictions have been achieved of Nigerians who are transferring money to Boko Haram terrorists. And this is also happening domestically. And I tell you that by the time they finish this investigation, the shocking details would surprise many Nigerians.
Are there links of some of these people that you have mentioned tonight that are political in nature?
I don't want to say that, because before you know it, opposite numbers in the PDP will pick this and say there is a witch hunt that is being launched. All I want to say is that the president is determined that there will be law and order and there will be punishment for crime in this country. Whoever involved, pray to God that you are not a politician. But if you happen to be one, it will not save you.
Perhaps on a final note, since the president has said, identify the leaders of these bandits and kidnappers, and we have some information as to the linkage of all of these criminalities and these evil activities. Is the government, or what can you tell us about activities in bringing back the abductees, especially the latest one that we saw in Kaduna and in other places? The government said it will not negotiate, or it will not handle them with kid glove. But is there any effort ongoing in terms of negotiation or talks with these kidnappers or bandits in bringing those who are abducted back home?
Yeah, the government of Kaduna State, from what we are hearing from them, they haven't closed the door to negotiated freedom for these Nigerians. what the governor said, and strongly supported by the federal authorities, is that there must not be ransom payments. But the governor has encouraged religious leaders. Some of them have been there in front, talking to bandits and their friends. And so if this is able to yield the freedom for these unfortunate brothers and sisters, we hope that it does. But all options are on the table, except payment for ransom.
Mr. Garba Shehu, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, thank you so much for your time tonight.
I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
And that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye-bye.